The story begins with a young boy sitting in his room, engrossed in watching cartoons on TV. Suddenly, the signal cuts out and the screen flickers to an emergency broadcast. The news wipes the smile off the boy's face. The anchor reports that a highly contagious, deadly virus has spread across the globe, turning infected people into horrific zombies within minutes. The virus is spreading rapidly and the world is already in its grip. The broadcast urges everyone watching to find a safe place immediately. As the boy processes this terrifying news, a strange noise echoes from upstairs, making his breath catch in his throat. Cautiously, he creeps upstairs to investigate, only to discover it's his older sister playing a prank. Relieved but shaken, the siblings head to their mother's room, where they find her in a state of panic. She's on the phone with her husband, a pilot, who informs her that the virus is spreading uncontrollably. He urges his family not to wait for him and to flee the city as quickly as possible. He reassures his children, telling them not to worry and that their mother will take them to safety. Holding up a lucky bracelet made by his daughter, Abigail, he shows it to them through the video call, bringing a smile to her face. Meanwhile, their mother hurriedly packs essentials as screams begin to echo from outside. She grabs her children and rushes out of the house. Just as they're about to get into the car, a zombie attacks their mother. Terrified, Abigail hides under the car, watching in horror as her mother and younger brother are killed by the zombie. The creature doesn't notice her and moves on. Trembling with fear, Abigail sees her mother rise as a zombie and start moving toward her. Before the zombie can reach her, a man, later revealed as Uncle Jack, appears and shoots her mother, saving Abigail. Moments later, he notices her brother beginning to turn into a zombie. He tells Abigail to cover her ears and shoots her brother to prevent him from becoming a threat. 10 years later, the world has crumbled under the weight of the zombie virus. Human civilization is in ruins, and once vibrant cities are now desolate wastelands. Most humans are either dead or wandering as zombies. Only 2 survivors remain from that day, Abigail, now grown, and Uncle Jack, who has raised her in the wilderness. Jack has trained her to fight zombies and she's become a skilled survivor. That day, Jack's intervention saved her life, and Abigail now sees him as a father figure. Despite their survival skills, Abigail feels profoundly lonely after years in the wilderness. Her greatest desire is to find a human settlement where she can live among others. Jack, however, distrusts people and prefers their solitary life. One night, while camping in the forest, Jack is awakened by a sound. He steps out of their tent and is attacked by a zombie. With his experience, he quickly dispatches it with gunfire. Abigail joins him and they realize that zombies often travel in packs. Knowing more are likely nearby, they pack up and flee on horseback. As they ride, their horse begins to neigh nervously. Jack senses danger and spots a group of zombies in the distance, attacking a lone human survivor. With humans so rare, they know they must save him. Jack decides to test Abigail's skills, instructing her to take aim and shoot the zombies to save the man. In her haste, Abigail fires and accidentally kills the survivor along with the zombie. Furious, Jack scolds her for her recklessness. They approach the body and realize the man is beyond saving. To ensure he doesn't turn, Jack shoots him. As Jack takes the man's boots, a group of armed survivors, friends of the dead man, arrives and surrounds them. Seeing the boots on Jack's feet, they assume he and Abigail killed their friend to steal his belongings. Just as the group prepares to attack, a pregnant woman steps out of their car and orders her companions to stand down. Their horse whinnies again, signaling danger. A horde of zombies charges from the forest, forcing everyone to fight. Despite their weapons, the zombies overwhelm the group, killing many. A strong man, bitten by a zombie, tries to shoot himself but runs out of bullets. Realizing they can't win, Jack, Abigail, the pregnant woman, Megan, and her husband, David, escape in a car, leaving the rest of the group to perish. As they drive, a black-faced zombie, enraged at the loss of its pack, pursues them. Jack asks Megan who they are and what they were doing. She explains that they were heading to Ship Town, a safe haven where humans live with all necessary facilities, hoping to start a normal life. Abigail's eyes light up. This is the place she's dreamed of. Jack, however, is skeptical, claiming he's wandered the region for 10 years and never found such a place. Their car suddenly breaks down and David, a mechanic, tries to fix it but lacks the necessary parts. Forced to abandon the vehicle, they continue on foot. After miles of walking, they reach an abandoned housing complex with eerie, silent skyscrapers. After ensuring no threats are present, they decide to spend the night. Around a fire, Abigail eagerly talks to Megan about Ship Town. Megan reveals they've been in radio contact with the settlement, describing it as a beautiful place where people live freely. Jack, meanwhile, sets traps around the camp to alert them of any approaching danger. He pulls out a map and tells the group he'll escort Megan and David partway to Shiptown but plans to part ways afterward. Abigail, upset, argues that David can't protect his pregnant wife alone and insists they stay together. Jack warns that larger groups attract more danger, but Abigail storms off, frustrated. Unbeknownst to them, the black-faced zombie has tracked their car and is closing in. The next morning, Abigail sits on the roof, looking at old childhood photos, when she hears rustling below. Realizing zombies have infiltrated the complex, she rushes to warn the others but is chased by a zombie. She climbs stairs to escape, knocking the zombie down but losing her balance. Jack saves her just in time. The black-faced zombie and its pack arrive, drawn by the death of one of their own, but many are caught in Jack's traps, killed by explosions. The group, having already left the complex, avoids the horde. Abigail remembers a small airfield nearby where her father once worked, suggesting they might find a plane to reach Shiptown. Jack warns that an open airfield leaves them vulnerable and doubts they'll find a functional plane, but Abigail's persistence convinces him. At the airfield they find no planes initially, but in a small hangar they discover a dusty and used aircraft. Overjoyed, they realize it could take them to Shiptown. David, the mechanic, estimates he can fix it in 10 to 15 minutes. While he works, Jack and Abigail search the airfield for supplies. David spots a horde of zombies approaching through binoculars and warns the others. Abigail, whose father taught her basic piloting skills, jumps into the cockpit and reads the manuals. Jack shoots at the zombies to hold them off. Abigail manages to start the plane, but a zombie reaches the door. Jack shoots it and the plane takes off just in time. Their joy is short-lived. The plane, and used for a decade, begins to smoke and the engine fails. Jack crash-lands it into a tree, saving their lives but leaving them with minor injuries. With the plane destroyed, they resume their journey on foot. After a long trek, they reach an abandoned railway station and decide to spend the night after ensuring it's safe. Checking their map, they realize Shiptown is only 2 days away. Megan thanks Jack, saying they wouldn't have made it without him. Jack shares his story. 10 years ago he had to kill his infected wife to save himself, leaving him emotionally numb. Abigail is all he has left and he's determined to protect her. Moved by Megan's situation, he vows to get her to Shiptown. Meanwhile, David, bitten by a zombie earlier, contemplates suicide. The bite is small, slowing the infection, but he knows he'll turn soon. He resolves to get Megan to Shiptown before ending his life. The next morning, Jack notices David's strange behavior and confronts him. Seeing the bite mark on David's leg, Jack confirms he's infected. David insists he'll kill himself before harming anyone. Jack lets him go and they continue their journey. That night, they spot a house and approach cautiously. A bright light flashes and a voice over a speaker demands they drop their weapons or be shot. Abigail explains they mean no harm and just need help. The homeowner, a scientist living alone, welcomes them inside on the condition they leave their weapons outside. He provides them with a lavish meal, a rare treat after years of scarcity. Over drinks, the scientist's words take a disturbing turn. He claims the virus, while destructive, has upgraded humanity by eliminating the weak, leaving only the strong as zombies. He believes zombies should rule the world. Alarmed, the group grows uneasy. David, feeling ill, excuses himself to the bathroom, where he sees the virus has fully spread through his body. Returning to the hall, he finds Jack, Abigail, and Megan unconscious. The scientists spike their drinks with a sedative. David attacks the scientist, who activates a device that weakens David, causing him to collapse. The scientist reveals he created the device after years of research, allowing him to control zombies and become the ruler of the world. When David regains consciousness, he, Jack, Abigail, and Megan are bound, and the scientist plans to experiment on them. He asks if they'd like to meet his wife, revealing a caged zombie, his infected wife, whom he feeds humans to. He opens the cage and she attacks him, but he uses the device to redirect her toward Jack. Jack kicks her away and David, fueled by the virus's strength, breaks free and frees the others. The scientist flees and the group escapes, finding his car outside. Jack drives at high speed, outrunning the zombies the scientist sends after them using his device. The road ahead is blocked, forcing them to continue on foot. The zombies catch up and David, knowing he's about to turn, tells the others to go on while he stays behind to fight. Megan protests, but David insists she must live for their unborn child. He fights bravely, holding the zombies off long enough for the others to escape, but a zombie eventually kills him. Jack carries Megan and they reach Ship Town, a settlement built on ships surrounded by water. They call for help, and snipers from a tower provide cover as a boat arrives to rescue them. The black-faced zombie, leading the horde, stops at the water's edge unable to cross. Megan, nearing delivery, is rushed to the settlement's hospital. The next morning, Abigail marvels at Ship Town, a thriving community. Jack, however, wants to leave, believing it's safer to stay on their own. Abigail, enjoying the company of others, refuses, leading to a heated argument. A doctor informs them that Megan gave birth to a daughter but is unlikely to survive due to severe blood loss. Jack visits Megan, who asks him to raise her daughter as he did Abigail. Touched, Jack agrees, reminded of his late wife. Meanwhile, Abigail bonds with a handsome young man and enjoys the community's lively atmosphere, solidifying her desire to stay. Later, Abigail follows the young man to a cabin filled with explosives and a wireless switch. He explains that the settlement has a contingency plan. If Ship Town is compromised, they'll escape through a tunnel and detonate the bombs to destroy the area. Unbeknownst to them, the scientist has reached Ship Town, controlling the black-faced zombie leader with his device. Zombies swarm the settlement through the water, attacking residents. Chaos erupts as Jack searches for Abigail, fighting off zombies. He finds her just as the scientist confronts her, knocking her down. Jack attacks the scientist, who is pushed into a tank by a zombie. Knowing he can't win, Jack destroys the scientist's control device, leaving him defenseless. The scientist is quickly killed by zombies. Survivors escape through the tunnel, but Abigail is grabbed by the black-faced zombie. Jack fights it off and Abigail notices a bracelet on its wrist, the one she made for her father years ago. She realizes the zombie is her father, now fully transformed. Jack pulls her away and they flee. The young man, seeing them escape, activates the bombs, destroying Ship Town. The settlement's leader, bitten during the attack, is killed by the black-faced zombie, who survived the explosion. Jack fights the zombie but is overpowered. Abigail, knowing it's her father but seeing him attack Jack, shoots him to save the others. Devastated, she and Jack embrace. With the few remaining survivors, they look toward a distant, desolate island and decide to start a new human settlement there, bringing the story to a close.